listeners, and welcome to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions Radio Show with Ronald Couming. Today we are blessed to have with us a couple of great guests. Josh Evans from Enthusiastically Yours. He helps business owners and entrepreneurs develop effective communication strategies for engaging their clients and potential clients. The attitudes in which we approach our business is directly correlated to our success. When harnessed correctly, your enthusiasm has the ability to incite passion in every potential customer and convert them into a raving fan for your business. And Josh is going to give us some insight in how to do that. Josh, how you?
I'm doing great today. Thank you so much for having me, Ronald.
Thank you for calling in. I believe you're calling in from Texas.
I sure am. Houston, Texas, to be exact.
Ooh, we don't want to get confused with the city, right?
Of course not.
Excellent. Tell us, I've met you at a couple of events. I speak nationally on Internet marketing, and I think the subject matter that you have for this client base is perfect because it just ties in exactly with what I do and my clients. So can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. So what I do mostly is help small businesses, entrepreneurs, and even some large businesses in harnessing the power of their employees' enthusiasm and excitement and passion for the work that they do. And what I've seen is that, right now the cost of entry into business is almost $0, especially with the amount of online marketing that's available. People can get into the game pretty quickly. And so for a company to rise above their competition, to look better and to actually stand out, there's only a few things that you can do. You can put in more time, you can develop certain skill sets for your marketplace, or you can exert more effort. And all of these things can be amplified by the amount of enthusiasm and passion that you have for the work that you're doing. And the cool thing that I've seen is that when you have enthusiasm, you don't hide it, because a lot of us hide it or we lose some of it because of our day-to-day frustrations. But when you wear it on your sleeve, it can incite passion in your clients or potential clients. And when you can incite passion in the people that you want to do business with, then they're going to go and tell all of their friends about how amazing your company is as well. And it just leads to much more business and a much more authentic relationship for a company and its clients. And that's what I focus on right now.
I love it. And that really helps with engagement. We do Internet marketing for our clients, and one of the biggest things we try to help our clients with is engagement, and engaging, whether it's on social media or through blog articles or even this medium, using a radio show or a podcast. So what you're talking about, I fully agree with. How could somebody, step their game up a little bit if they're not currently at the level they could be? I know they should, contact you, and we will get to that. But how could somebody just get from where they are to a little bit better?
Well, Ronald, I think that everybody begins their career from a very passionate place. Nobody started a new job or started a business that they run. Nobody started it from a complacent place. Everybody was enthusiastic on day one. And if we could find a way to reclaim that enthusiasm that we started with and allow us to utilize that in our day-to-day business. And so what I suggest to people is to think back to the first day that you started in the role that you're in, maybe the day that you opened the doors to your business or decided that you were going to start this company or this endeavor. Think back to that original day and the excitement that you had. Because at that point, at that moment in our life, the world is your oyster. Anything could happen. The possibilities are endless. And what happens is over time, slowly but surely, the day-to-day frustrations, problems that we run into, hindrances, any of these roadblocks that come along, they mute the enthusiasm that we started with. And it hampers us from reattaining that energy or that excitement that we had. And so what I suggest to people is go back to that original state. Think back. Dream big again. What do you want your company to become? What do you want to do? What are you really helping your clients achieve? And if you can get back to that state of mind, it'll help you reclaim, at least on a day-to-day basis, your enthusiasm again.
Wow, I love it, because you're right. When we start out, we have so much piss and vinegar, for a lack of a better term, but we're ready to take on the world, right? And then every now and then, we get hit in the gut with the bill's got to be paid, or a client things just don't go right, or something we thought about didn't pan out exactly the way we wanted to. So it kind of does shade us or make us feel a little bit off. And getting back to where we were in the beginning, I mean, I think that would help overall with the business in the mental and emotional state of the business owner, as well as growing the business as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we all know that, especially in a small business, that complacency and mediocrity is a killer, right? I mean, it's pretty much a death sentence. And so you can't let yourself slip into some sort of, I'll say, abysmal routine of your normal modes of operation. You gotta reclaim that excitement that you started with, and your clients can feel that. Whether you're being excited and you really truly are passionate about what you're trying to accomplish and how you're trying to serve your clients, or if you're complacent in what you're doing, your clients can absolutely feel that. And whether it's over social media or in person or on the radio, like this, people know if you're excited about what you're doing. And if you are, they're much more likely to listen because they know that you believe it as well. You bought into it. Otherwise, you can be considered a charlatan. And nobody wants that, do they, Ron?
No, not at all. And I agree with you that if you don't believe in your product, if you're not conveying, just how it's really going to help people, they're going to feel that, and they're less likely to do business with you. And they might do business with somebody else who is equally as qualified, but just when they were talking to them, they just had more passion and more uppity, and they just created a better dream, a better vision, because when somebody comes to hire you, they have a dream, they have a vision, they have a goal. And if you're sitting there talking to them strictly about, facts and this and that, it's a little bit different than if you're coming at them with all the enthusiasm and stuff. So I like it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Ronald. You're very right. People, especially your clients, they have their own vision of what they want to achieve. And if you can help them get more excited about their vision or achieving their vision using your services or products, then you're much further along than everybody else.
I love it. What are like a couple of steps that people could do to regain, or even if they're starting in a business, how can they possibly keep their enthusiasm over time? And if they've been in business for a while, and how can they regain it if they've lost it? Hopefully they still have it.
That's a great question, and I love to answer it because it's something that I put in my book, and it's something that I use personally and with all my clients. And so I call it a back pocket theory. And so what I do is I have people write down a few things and figuratively carry them in their back pocket. I mean, you could literally carry them, but that might be a little bit odd. But so what I have people write down are three different things. The first thing is I have people write down three things that they've accomplished that they're proud of. Whatever that might be. It might be that you landed the largest client at your previous company, or that you just landed a new client at your company, something that you've achieved that you're proud of. It doesn't even have to be business related. It can be something personal, like I ran a marathon or I completed an Ironman, any of those sorts of things, something that you've completed that not everybody could do that you're proud of, right? So you write down three of those things. And the next thing that I have them do is write down three things that they're grateful for. What are three blessings or three things that you're thankful for? If everything else fell away in the world, what are three things that you would still be happy and appreciative of? Whether it's family or health or friends, those sorts of things. And then the third thing I have people write down are three huge goals that they have in the next 5 years. What are three huge things that you want to accomplish in the next 5 years? Do you want to grow your business to $10 million? Or do you want to buy a vacation home in Colorado? I don't know. Take a trip around the world. I'm not sure. But whatever your three huge goals are, it doesn't necessarily have to be professionally. It can be personal goals. But we have to have these large things to aim at. As I'm sure you've heard Zig Ziglar said, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. So we have to have these targets out there for us to be moving towards, right? That allows us to be proactive in our business. And the reason I have people write down things that they've already accomplished that they're proud of is because when you realize you've already accomplished these great things, it means that these goals you have set in front of you are a lot more attainable. And so I highly recommend for everybody to write these things down and carry them with them just in the back of your mind. That way, if you run into a day that's a little more frustrating, or you lose a client, or somebody's left unserved by the products and services you're trying to provide, remember that you still have stuff that you've accomplished you should be proud of. You still have a lot of things to be thankful for. And you have huge things left to be accomplished that you're going after right now. And if you do those sorts of things, it can help you regain and reclaim the enthusiasm and passion for the work that you're doing.
Nice. And what do you think that maybe sometimes those are all incredibly good tips. And what I would like the listeners to know is this episode, as all episodes, are archived both on my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com, go to media, then radio shows, and also on WCAP 980 AM. They're at the radio station itself, archive page, because a lot of this information, you're going to want to listen to it a couple of times, and Josh is going to give out his contact information momentarily, and you might be driving or something, so please rest assured that you'll be able to go back and listen to this. Josh, what do you think about sometimes disconnecting to reconnect?
I think that's a great idea. A lot of times we need to get out of our normal modes of operation or out of our day-to-day routines. And it's funny because I was just having a conversation with an associate of mine yesterday about how when we can change our physical surroundings, it allows our brain to work in different ways than we normally would. Because when you have endorphins pumping, the creative centers of the brain totally take on a whole other realm. And if we can do these sorts of things, it allows us to see what we need to be focusing on in a better manner. And I've seen that anytime I go on vacation or anytime I'm traveling for work, I come up with ridiculously new and innovative ideas for my own business just because I'm outside of my normal routine. I'm not in the office. I'm not in front of the computer. I'm not in front of the same clients I've been working with. I'm in a new environment. And it creates different synapses firing in your brain, and you come up with new ideas, and you can refocus on the things that are truly important. I think that's a great way to refresh.
Nice. And, because I've heard that before, disconnect to reconnect. And I myself, I think everybody in business has gone through highs and lows. And, once you get in business and you've been there for a while, it's kind of hard. Now, to stay up all the time, and like if somebody owns a business and they have a bunch of different employees, it's not just the business owner. It's important for the employees themselves to be enthusiastic and up all the time, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm not so naive to think that everybody can be 100% enthusiastic all the time. But enthusiasm isn't necessarily just having energy or just being happy. Enthusiasm is derived from enjoying the work that you're doing, generally enjoying the work that you're doing, and being engaged in the work that you're doing as well. And I think that's a huge factor in a company's success. Whether you're one employee or 500 employees, it's huge making sure that when people are working, they're engaged in the actual work that they're trying to accomplish. Because if you don't believe in it, then there's no point in continuing it.
I agree with you. And I just want to let the listeners know, Josh, you speak nationally, right? I met you.
I speak internationally. But yes, I do. I speak all over.
Yeah, on this subject matter. So, not only is Josh a subject matter expert, the subject matter is in demand. There is a need for this, and a tremendous need, and a tremendous value. The benefits and value that what Josh does is can't be conveyed in a 15 to 18-minute interview. Josh, can you give everybody your contact information? We still have a couple of minutes, but I want to make sure they have that clear.
Absolutely. If people wanted to reach out to me, they can check out my website at www.enthusiasticu.com, enthusiasticu.com, or they can email me at josh@enthusiasticu.com. And I'll tell you what, Ronald, for your listeners, if they email me, I'll send them a free digital copy of that back pocket guide so they can fill it out themselves.
Wow. Free gifts, people. I didn't even know about that. Thank you so much, Josh.
Hey, just trying to add value. I'm just so honored to be on your show.
I appreciate that, brother. And I noticed you say enthusiastic you for the listeners.com. For the listeners, is that YOU, the number 2, or just the U itself?
So it's enthusiasticyou.com. So
okay, so it's spelled out.
Oh, yeah, I'll spell it out. enthusiasticyou.com.
Excellent. Yeah, because the U could have been just a letter U or a YOU. So I just wanted to make sure the listeners can find you. Yeah, that's tremendous. And like I said, I met you at San Francisco, I believe, at an event that I was speaking at on internet marketing, and you were also speaking, and I think you were hosting the event as well, right?
I was emceeing the event. It was a great event, and there's another event similar to that. I believe we're going to be at together as well, coming up in Dallas.
Yes, I'll be speaking there as well, as you will, right?
Yes, I sure am. I'm very excited. It should be a good event.
Yep, I love going to these events because not only do we get to give back, and everybody in the audience gets to learn, but you also get to spend time with like-minded people. And so I encourage the listeners to go to different events. Obviously locally, a couple times a month at least, and regionally at least once a quarter, and nationally at least twice a year, just so you can stay up to date with events, but also to be around people like you. I mean, often business owners and entrepreneurs, we're often alone a lot, you know what I mean? So it's kind of nice.
Many times. We're an island upon ourselves, right?
Yeah. I have a laptop lifestyle. I just spent 2 months in St. Croix, but, for the most of the time I was there by myself. I speak to hundreds of people a week, but you know what I mean? It's nice to interact with people. So I encourage people to go to events to learn and to perfect their skill set, but also to interact with like-minded people. It's another benefit. Josh, you've been a great guest. Is there anything you'd like to leave the listeners with now? You've already given a great tips in a book, but if you have something else?
I'll leave a last comment so people can kind of walk away and think about it. So I want people to not accept their complacent selves. Don't be a mediocre you. Be an enthusiastic you. That's it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Yep, Josh, I look forward to seeing you in Dallas, where we'll both be speaking at the Habitude Warrior Conference. Eric Swanson always puts on a great event. Listeners, you've been listening to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ronald Couming of RCS Technology Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients using the power of the